just check that there's waveforms coming in.
Waveforms.
Let's get geometric, everybody, for the second time, but the first time we're doing a video of it. This is Shape Z2.
I mean, it does seem to be based around squares from the initial look.
Well, I mean, the platforms are, yes.
That's the base shape, shall we say.
So this is just released in early access, and as our resident factory enthusiast, Zach is going to show us what's the deal with all these shapes.
Yeah. What's with the shapes? And what's with the Lego roller coaster surrounding this thing?
Yeah, what is that? You did sign up, right? You did. Yeah. I will strive for efficiency and build those spaghetti factories.
Clearly a lie. And also impossible.
Not damage anything.
Literally cannot damage anything.
Okay,
good. So here we are in the land of this platform with shapes.
What do we do?
Basically, you put the shapes in the hole.
Oh,
shapes in the hole.
Universal game mechanic.
Yep, it's time to put things in holes.
Yay!
Right.
Place anchors.
Okay. Commence shaping. So as you can see, the shapes come out of the little mine, which if you look at it down here, it's like you're mining the giant shape asteroid. It's like asteroid field.
Oh. Cool.
And so they begin trundling. Let me see if I can get rid of that.
Okay, so what shape does that count as? The crosshair?
And circles, technically, because everything's made of quarters. So over here we have squares. And then eventually, once they get here, I suppose I clear the tutorial things. Your goal is always shown. Deliver circles.
And I did quite like how it sort of went full screen with the tutorial and then moved it off to the side. Quite a slick looking tutorial system.
And then when they get here, chuck them into the hole. Whee!
And then they spin into nothingness for some reason.
Yep. For some reason, you're just feeding all the shapes into the giant vortex of doom. Right, now we have the convenient UI that tells you how many buildings you need to run a full belt.
What does that mean? What does it mean with full belt?
Where it's like the building, like these buildings operate at 20 shapes per minute, and the belt runs at 60 per minute. So when you have the building selected, this menu tells you that you need 3 buildings to use a whole belt.
Still not sure I understand what that means. Proof it. Yeah, I sort of got that bit, but so what? Oh, they seem quite. Oh, is that because like they're bunching up? Are they bunching up more than we're inputting? Is that?
Well, it's because this pushes it once it's full. So once it's backed up there, they all go this way, but they don't. It's just spreading it out. So once it actually gets going, you'll see that this side comes out as fully saturated as this side. It's in a full belt.
Okay, I see what it means. Right. And but it like changed the goal to the half shape.
Yes, this is now half circles. This is the half destroyer. Destroys the west half of shapes.
Right, and it just sort of made the efficient pusher bits for you, like the one at the bottom. I can see what you mean. It sort of made sense, right? You didn't have to define any logic for it to, it was busy, so it pushed. But the other one it's not so busy, and it just pushes alternately anyway.
Yes, they always push alternately, but then if it's backed up, it sends them all that way.
It pushes anyway. Okay, got you.
Place rotates between the half destroyers to produce quarters. So now you need to take the halves and then rotate them sideways and then destroy the other west half to make quarters. And you don't need to worry about what way around you're putting the things in the hole, because obviously west is always west. So for the goals, it's just a quarter, but because we're rotating it and cutting off the west side of a half, it's the bottom quarter in this case.
Okay. But yeah. And is that true of all the sort of destructors? You don't rotate them; it always does the same side, no matter which way round you put it. Or can you tell it to just destroy this bit, please? Or
no, it's always the west side. And then obviously you have the orthopedic covers down here because you could just turn the camera around and then you'll be like, which side's the west?
So is that the developers weighing in on? Is that their opinion on the
east side, west side?
Yeah,
clearly.
The classic rap battles.
We need to make half squares, same as before.
So how does the vortex express what it wants?
I don't know. It's like who is controlling this vortex?
Like, well, it communicates through those little lock panels, I guess, that open up and turn into a shape.
Well, kind of. Like this just technically shows you what you're putting in at the end of the belt, which you'll see if I do. Like, if I come over here and start laying out something else, you'll see that it shows you that you're getting squares there. But then if I put in like a red cutter, it shows you what the output is from there.
Yeah, nice.
And then you can it carries that onto the end of any belt. So as you're building,
useful.
you can just see what you've
currently made. Yeah, that's useful.
What do we need? More half squares. Well,
so is there an occasion where you want to do, like, I don't know, complicated space chemi type stuff where you'll have two different shapes coming down a belt, the same belt, or?
Not really. Not until super late game. It's like usually everything is just going to be one belt, and then you want to keep them all separate because it's only late game where you get like the like logic circuits and stuff to be able to like examine what the shape is on a belt and then do something with it.
I see. Okay, so there is some of that.
Yes, but that's usually right at the end of the game. Now we get the first set of unlocks. The stacker. Put things on things.
Am I right in thinking all this 3D is new as well?
Yes, it used to be a purely 2D game, top down. But now, because now everything is physical, so okay, now we've got to put a circle on top of a square. So
what was the vortex before then? Was it still a vortex, or was it?
No, it was just a square. It was just a building, basically, that you put the stuff in before. Right, so we need squares.
So do you keep all the existing things running and just add the new things?
You can, like, it's not as big a deal in this game as it was in Shapes 1, because in Shapes 1, a lot of the stuff you previously made counted towards, like, unlocks, basically, but now the unlocks are a separate thing where you have, like, side goals, basically. So they kind of changed that system. So a lot of the time you can just delete whatever you just made. The one exception is that if you're looking at this, the end goal of this main milestone goal, once you get into past this point, those you want to keep around because they like level up your score, basically. As much as that makes sense.
Are you blocking some input ports you might need later?
Much later.
Okay.
Not going to need them for a while. For the moment, we just need to get these squares and circles next to each other so that we can start stacking them. Right, circles need to go on top, so... Oh, yeah. What's it doing?
Stackers are slow. Make loads.
6 per belt. Circles need to go on top, so... 6 of those.
Stack floors. Oh, was that like a lifter?
Yes.
Yep.
And then chuck it in the hole.
Feed the vortex. It hungers.
And what do I need down here? I need quarter squares. Need to do the second rotation.
It hungers for an incomplete burger at the moment, is what I'm looking at. It's like it's taken a square ciabatta base and put a burger patty on it.
But there's not anything on top.
There's not anything on top, no. There's no sauce, and there's no upper bun.
Did I tell you guys that when I watched Everything Everywhere All at Once, I didn't realise that everything bagel was an actual thing?
Oh, right.
It's like an actual type of bagel topping.
What?
You know how you have like sesame seed or whatever bagels, or you have yeah. The one that has all of them is the everything bagel, and that was
is that what it's called?
It's already a concept, yeah. And so that was a reference to that. I was just like, why is it? Why is it a bagel?
I mean, it's not clear. It's clearly not got everything.
No, but that was the joke.
There's a limit to what everything means.
But there isn't in the film. It literally has everything, right?
Locked
into a bagel. Can we make bagels? Can we cut holes in our circles?
No, unfortunately.
Oh, man, missing a trick.
As you can see, the stacker just like it drops it on top and then like squishes it a little bit.
Squishes it up a bit.
Does nobody want that sweet Taurus?
Yeah, that would be kind of cool if you could make that shape, although I guess it wouldn't be that noticeable in the way the shapes, because as you might already be able to tell by the way that the stagger works, as they stack up they get smaller, so it's like a pyramid of shapes. We need to do more of this, I guess. Or we could have a look on the second.
Because it's asking us to make a lot of them right now.
We got circles with circles, squares with squares, a big pile of squares.
How tall can they get? Like 3, 4?
I think it's 4 in easy mode and 5 in hard mode.
Right.
If you want to get real fancy. If we want to do circles on circles, I guess we can just do that right here. Because why not? 6 of these. Right there. Just like I'm already missing the fact that I can't cut. Or I guess I can't. Can I cut? No.
I need to unlock blueprints.
You need to get to a certain part of the tutorial to be able to unlock copy paste. You need to go like this.
So default outputs always equal full belt.
Yeah, for miners. Okay, that's circles on circles.
Shape goal has been completed.
Oh, we need to put the quarter squares on top of each other. Probably just do that right here.
Just the quarters. What if you stack them and they're misorientated? Do they just rejoin?
Yes. If you put them into a gap. Did I do that right? Oh wait. Got them to actually join the belt. Oh, that's not right either.
I mean, it seems. Clearly you've been playing this already, but it seems like these keyboard shortcuts are pretty quick and intuitive for getting systems up and running.
Yeah, because you have the anchor points for dragging belts, and Q and E to move up and down layers while you're dragging.
Layers.
And then there's what you might think is just a pointless fancy thing that you can do with just do this instead.
Just has them.
Yep, the belt launcher.
Don't they actually move quicker?
No,
not in the air.
Well, I suppose the
throughput's the same.
Yeah, the throughput is the same overall, but there's no, because everything is based on production goals. It doesn't really matter how fast it happens. It's no different than this, I guess. But you can build those on land as well, which really just means you can make a bridge over 4 zones without having to use.
Sure, I guess you're using less space.
Well, and also the other thing that I didn't realise initially is that if you do this, with another belt, this still works.
Oh yeah, they fly just underneath.
It doesn't count as interfering with the next layer.
Right. Yeah. I mean, how many layers can you have?
You can have 3, but you have to unlock the 3rd one. Right, delete it.
Break your launcher.
Oh, no. Okay. What else we got? Oh, the big pile of squares. Well, I kind of need to do that as an extension to this one. Might have to wait on that.
Will it be? Are there shape rate tasks at some point? You need a certain throughput.
The first game had those. I don't know if this one does. That, and if they are, they'll probably be quite late game. So this is a half square with a quarter circle. Can we actually do that anywhere that's useful? Do I have I've still got circles over here, I guess. Actually, can I just cannibalize it? So I totally can. We don't need that.
You don't need it, yeah. You've already got your quarter circle, so you can rotate it.
I'm going to need some more squares. Half squares specifically.
Fling them.
Straight into a cutter.
Yeah. Out of the mines, into the death.
Yeah.
And then, which way round do we need this?
So inefficient.
Doesn't matter, it's infinite resources. We can just do, how many of these is it? 2.
Yep. You need 3 in the other direction, don't you? Where it needs to be. Oh, it just doesn't matter, does it? Rotation doesn't matter.
No, yeah.
As long as it's oriented the right way at the end.
Well, and obviously I have to get them so that it falls into the empty half of them.
Oh, but that shape's mirrored. Does that still count?
Well, yeah, I guess that is mirrored. Wait, so in that case we need to rotate the other part, I guess. We do that in one. No, you're going to need multiple. You can see even as I mouse over this, it shows you what changes.
Mm.
We're not going to be able to do it with one. That right? Yeah, that's right?
Yeah. That looks okay. And so you need like 2 lanes of rotators to keep throughput going?
Yes, 2 rotators per belt. Okay, we finished this. Cut that double stacked circle in half.
What we unlocked? What was that? What you done?
Oh, right. So you get research points by completing the side tasks, and then that lets you unlock the upgrades in here. So there's speed upgrades for all the different parts, and then actual buildings, which are the more useful things. Like, instead of destroying a half, why don't you cut it into 2 halves instead?
And that seems much more
efficient.
Appropriate. Yeah.
And then there's the different directions of rotation. That's obviously more useful.
Unlock labels.
Yes, unlock the ability to label it. There's the 3rd floor, and then a bunch of later game stuff. Cut these in half.
Cut it.
Cut these in half. Yep. Okay.
Halves with halves. No longer happy with a full square. The Vortex, he requires bite size.
Guys should be cut it off.
Wait, he's clearly a sandwich in rectangles kind of person rather than a sandwich in triangles kind of person.
Clearly.
Definitely.
No triangles in this world. Everything is 90 degrees.
Do you think sandwiches taste better when they're cut diagonally?
No.
Some people swear that they do.
It actually sort of...
I guess, like, it keeps you away from the crust for longer. I guess.
I think I'm a rectangle person. Like, aesthetically, the triangle, sure. But, like, actually, practically, like, the process of putting... I feel like you're just getting more crust more of the time, weirdly, with, like, a triangle cut.
Well, the trouble with the triangle cut is you're tempted to eat the middle, which is where all the highest concentration of stuff is.
Yeah, so I think you start with the good stuff, right, with a triangle cut. But then you go to the less good stuff more. Like, I don't know.
But don't you eat like a corner of a triangle cut first rather than like in the middle?
I guess you try. I suppose you're right. But yeah, I don't know. That's just...
And also, like,
something about the eating process doesn't gel with
me.
But
a triangle cut is like more sandwich in your hands at one time. Unless you're going...
if it squidges out, you mean?
Well, I meant if you're going for a full triangle and quarter squares instead of half cut. Like these. This is an equal amount of sandwiches as a triangle cut, I suppose.
I think I would prefer my sandwiches that way. It makes more sense if you're having a sausage sandwich as well, right? Because then the sausage is correctly like in line with the cut of your sandwich.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, cutting sausages in a sandwich is always a pain.
Yeah.
Top tip: don't just put a whole sausage in there, like just.
Put a whole Scotch egg in a sandwich.
Yeah, just don't ever cut it. Just
wrap it in bread on top of the bread.
Especially if you smushed it enough afterwards, right? Like the Scotch egg would sort of naturally burst.
Oh god, that would
it's going to lose its integrity if you try to squash a Scotch egg. It's not going to work.
Here it comes. Wait,
here it
5
comes.
more.
Hungry Vortex.
Yeah, look at it go. Whee.
A shape goal has completed. Oh, now it wants Battenberg.
Oh,
but without it only wants the pink bits of the Battenberg. We haven't even got the colours yet. But...
No. So what we need to do is rotate one of these on the way in, I guess.
Before they get stacked.
Yeah.
Can you put rotators or anything on the upper level?
Yes, you can. You can put rotators up top.
Assume you just can't put stackers up top.
You can put stackers on the second layer because obviously they're too late, but you can't put them on the third.
Yeah.
We need to rotate this twice then, I guess, to get it onto the other corner. That's also nice that you can do a U-bend in the process of raising them.
Oh, nice.
The vertical U-ey.
That should be right? Yes.
So is there a lot of... Can you kind of shift things, or is there a lot of SimCity style? I just have to bulldoze all of this and then...
Well, once you unlock the blueprints, you can just cut and paste, copy paste.
Cut and paste, right.
Save it into a blueprint or whatever. Wait, so now it wants me to get rid of part of this shape that we only just made. I've kind of backed myself into a corner a little bit there. Also going to need rotating again. Be able to cut the west half.
You're cutting out the west side now.
What do I need? Oh shit, do I need to do a full... I'm going to have to actually build this somewhere else because I've not left enough space apparently for this full rotation that I need to do.
Oh.
Which one are you looking at? Oh, right, that hut. Yeah, the bottom one on your pinned task list.
I need it that way round. So I need a full 3 rotations.
And a cat.
Chuck it over here. Chuck it in wherever.
A little bit.
And if you want to, you can even chuck them in on multiple floors.
Oh, I see. So, wow, I mean, that's quite a lot of chucking.
Yeah,
it's like 36 chucks per side.
And that's before you've even unlocked them.
Well, no, I mean, once you've unlocked it, yeah, it's 36.
And 3 floors, obviously. But that's actually way more than you need, because once you get trains, you just throw the whole train in the hole instead.
I did see that on the intro.
Yes. You just, because the trains have like a jump mechanism, which is the equivalent of like the belt jump, so you can cross over things. But then if you just aim the jump into the hole, you can just fire the train directly into the hole.
There's an element of that intro screen that I like, because it's kind of like, oh, you're going to be building all of this, bro. But also, spoilers.
Spoilers, I guess. And also, that is a slightly different type of screen, because that's the like supporters edition with the like loop-the-loops and stuff.
No, right.
Oh, right.
Entirely pointless, but you know.
Oh, right. So you don't get those parts unless you're an early adopter. Yeah.
Rotate, delete, and check in the hole.
You get I got like Transport Tycoon vibes actually from that intro screen.
Yeah, just watching the things go.
Yeah.
And we got to put a circle back onto the other half of this half square. Where is that again?
Half a circle onto half a stacked, onto half a pyramid.
Half a pile. Cut them.
Glorious pile of hats.
It's an old reference there.
Yeah. What? It wasn't even called glorious, was it?
I think it might have been.
Yeah, it was some adjective pile.
Well, there was
of
different tiers of it, of course. It's like how ridiculous is your hat pile?
Resplendent.
I don't think it was resplendent, but that definitely should have been one.
Yeah, I like that.
Yep.
Fancy was probably one.
Fancy sounds not sufficiently ridiculous.
Schmancy? Can you use schmancy on its own?
Well, it's just with the context of fancy and schmancy.
Yeah, just cut out the middleman on your derogatory term and just say that's schmancy. it's not. If it's fancy schmancy, you're taking the piss out of it being so fancy, right? But if it's just schmancy, is it bad?
Or good?
Or good, yeah.
I'm so schmancy. You already know.
I actually can unlock the cutter.
Schmancy.
Yeah, we did know that. You're definitely schmancy there.
I'm so schmancy.
You're so schmancy.
Which one of these goals is going to take the longest that I could maybe exploit the cutter for? This one, probably, the one with the quarters. But instead of doing this...
Oh, that's going to be in my head the rest of the day now.
Doing something more ridiculous. So this is 4 per belt.
What are those? What are those?
What are those?
Old references.
Then we need to rotate all that shit.
took a video of that of Miles doing that the other day. Like, you just
say one of those.
Well, no, he wasn't saying it. That would be quite impressive. But no, it was just wearing a pair of my wife's shoes. And
so you said one of those.
Yeah, I took a video, just hand down at the appropriate moment. What are those?
I don't think I've left myself enough space here. I need slightly more. I guess I could do this.
Layer it. Make it look real awkward. Zach's neatness is falling away as we speak.
Actually, I also need one more gap anyway, because I need to bring them all onto one belt first.
Can you sort of make a staircase of them so they're like just really inefficient?
But you only have 3 layers to work with.
No. I mean, like, go across in the grid diagonally, so like you get one input per horizontal row.
Yeah, I mean that's sort of one of the things you used to do in the first game. Gang Central. That should work.
And this is clearly the classic factory game problem, right? Where eventually you start being like, oh no, that means I've either got to redo all this to fit it in, or just shove it in.
Well, that's the classic spaghetti problem. Like, how spaghetti do you want to be? Oh, also, actually, that's not even gonna... That needs to be separated into 2 belts, because that's more than one belt can handle. Because you're making quarters. We go to, like... Put this one in here, and then put this one on the upper floor. Oops.
How would you describe this belt work, Zach? Is it schmancy?
No, it's spaghetti, clearly. Fancy spaghetti. So as you can see, like, it's cycling through all the different things that I'm putting in on that one invert.
No, I see.
So you can see that they're all...
You can see you're getting all 4 corners.
What do we want to do here? We'll put a circle on the other way round. Overhangs.
Oh, what? That's not an overhang, is it? Isn't it? Like, it's just circle on one corner and circle and square in the other corner.
No, there's an overhang.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I see what you mean on the left-hand side.
Like,
yeah.
Go over here and look at the shape here.
That's an incredibly poorly constructed burger. It's like a burger on half a piece of bread.
Well, yeah, with a very curved loaf as well.
Desperate times in this sandwich factory.
How am I going to fit this in?
So Schmancy is apparently an instance of shum reduplication. There you go. From which is a Yiddish thing, but obviously it's Yiddish, isn't it? Burger schmurger. Sandwich schmamwich.
Well, that's clearly what we're making here.
Yeah, sandwiches.
Chuck it again. Is that right? Yeah. Making quite a mess. We nearly... Oh, double quarters. Oh, well, that's not going to be... Yeah, we're not going to be doing that with that, I don't think. Might need to redo that whole thing.
Oh, is it that? Because
they're all randomly rotated.
And also your quarter supply is no longer
it's because
relevant.
I finished...
Yeah. So you got to make double... crash test dummy signs.
Yes, that is not that.
Double layered crash test dummy signs.
Get rid of all of this crap.
So there's no element to like sort things into one rotation.
No, I mean you can just
rotating.
Oh, actually, let me do this further down. Obviously, the way to do it is to just do it yourself. So when you start with this cutter that splits it into 2, then you use the rotators to get them to the same rotation, and then merge the belt back in at that point. Except I don't actually want them like that. I need them like that, don't I?
Yes. Then you gotta cut.
That. Then we should be able to rotate that one once, and then stack them together. Oh, no, wait. Rotate the wrong one on this half. And chuck that one in the hole.
Chuck it.
And this would be the point where it's like, now I want the blueprints, because then I just take this and I just copy it. Fine.
Make it run twice as fast. Oh yeah, because it's quite slow output at this point. And you need 460 of them.
When do we get blueprints? What? Oh, at the end of this goal.
Well, you need your quarter burg on bread.
Squares, right. Which one was that? It's this one.
Your quarter ciabatta. Your quarter open-faced ciabatta burger.
Well, in that case, if we're going to be using that for something else, then let's just do that with the West Destroyer. Instead of trying to be fancy.
How the West was destroyed.
No.
Not through capitalism, but through a pret-a-manger.
I mean, that is still capitalism, technically.
It's sort of.
No, but another...
we're getting into proper sandwich territory with that one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Where am I even making that? Is that up here? Oh, it is.
It's a shame, like, the layers do have to shrink. I know they have to make it see, because you can't just...
You can see it, yes.
Yeah, no, we can't just put a bit of bread on top.
I guess I can do that. I guess I can use this last deposit of circles to do that quicker.
It should be one that just flips them over, but then they'd be the wrong sizes.
Well, yeah, I mean, you could make it so it, like, flips and unsquashes them in the process.
Yeah.
Just make that part of the animation. Whoa, not quite that much.
Sandwiches. Or open face sandwiches.
Is it an open face sandwich?
Isn't that what an open face sandwich is?
What is an open face sandwich?
Isn't an open face sandwich just like you forgot a bit of bread? Like, it's just stuff on
pile.
bread. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
It's a file, yeah.
So, like, technically cheese on toast is like a toasted open-faced cheese sandwich.
Yeah.
Oh, this is actually going to take too long. I'll just build a secondary version of this next week and join them together. This belt has got plenty of capacity there. Oh.
Look at the Wikipedia definition of an open sandwich. Bread or toast with food items on top.
With food?
Just general food.
Yeah. Has half the number of slices of bread compared to a typical closed sandwich. Like, why even bother with that sentence?
Wait.
Not a third of them
I
are
guess
bread.
yeah.
So if I want to open face a Big Mac, though...
Right,
Like,
exactly.
that
That's
was
why
like-
they had to add typical, right? Because presumably that's an atypical closed sandwich.
Well, yeah, it's an open-faced Big Mac actually still got 2 slices of bread, because you've just taken the top off.
I don't know if you can have an open-faced Big Mac.
But you still have the salad and sauce layer on top that's just, like, open to the elements.
You assume that the topmost part of bread is the face of the sandwich.
Right. And also, like, a club sandwich is the one that has 3 layers usually, like a Big Mac, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And that's
back.
the Sims. The only thing I can think of where they really mention open faced sandwich is that Simpsons joke, and it's specifically an open faced club sandwich, right? Because it's a joke about
How that's weird.
golf, right?
Oh, right.
But yeah, but because he's stuck in the in the sand trap, isn't he, in the golf? And he's like, Mr. Burns is like, use an open-faced club, the sand wedge. And Homer's like, open-faced club sandwich. But would that have 2 lots of bread or 3?
Yeah, I mean,
three.
if it was a club sandwich and it was open-faced, I assume you'd have to have the 2 layers, and the top layer is open.
At the top,
like you're like,
open.
Yeah, like you've just removed the upper bun from a Big Mac.
Okay, yeah, sure.
That would be my guess.
I mean,
but then you're not halving the number of slices.
No, you're thirding them.
It's a general reduction of the top layer of bread.
Generally reduced bread content.
There's actually no citation. There's no citation on that sentence about having half the number of slices of bread.
I don't think you need to cite that sentence.
I don't know. Well, it's in doubt.
Is there an Encyclopedia Foodanica? They can reference.
Literally everything that I can currently do. I think it might be. Oh, apart from obviously the big pile of squares. I only have 1 bit of square left over here. And I am going to need those diagonals. No, wait, I'm not going to need those diagonals. What are these ones used for? Oh, right. This incredibly inefficient process where it's like, you take a circle, you make it down to a quarter, then you attach that quarter to half a square, then you cut off 1/4 of the square that you already put on, then you stack a whole circle on top of it, then you cut half that circle back off. It's like, that's not... But that is like, that's why these tasks are set out like this, because it's always like, do the next step.
Right,
yeah.
You can kind of use what you've got before, but just to fudge it.
Yeah. And obviously that gets more complicated when you're getting into like paint and stuff, because then you're like, sometimes it'll be you apply the part and then in the first version it's grey, but then in the next version it's coloured, so it's like, you put in the colouring station before you merge them together.
So is it always this one level that just gets more and more complex, or is there...
Yeah, I mean, it's just an infinite map, basically.
Right, okay.
Whoa. Okay, that is pretty big.
I mean, it's theoretically infinite.
Oh my god.
If you want to.
Are they all laid out the same, or...?
Well, no, it's like, as you go further out, the shapes get more... Well, actually, in this game, it's not as obvious as it was in the first game, but you very rarely find, like, full
regular
shapes.
again.
It's just, like, halves, or, like, all the shapes, parts are different, or, like, one bit of it is a random colour.
Oh. Is it only ever circles and squares as the base?
It's circles, squares, then you've got the pointy one, stars, and this little indent one, which used to be called pinwheels, but I don't know if it's still called pinwheels.
Did you have to bring them all into the one vortex?
Yes, everything still has to go into the vortex. So at a certain point, you might want to even like delete these original mines just to open up another side to input stuff onto the main platform.
Right. And how do they travel here from far? On the trains?
You either have trains or you have space belts, which are just like 4-lane belts that they attach to these like points on the edges of the platform.
I see. Motorway belts.
Yes.
I guess if you had 4 layers, you could just like pipe them out of the sides here. I guess do you have space for 2 there to like squeeze them out?
Kind of.
Because then does it actually make any sense to delete your initial mines? Like, because if you just squeeze them out through these little gaps.
I mean, obviously, when you have this 4 stack of 4 wide, but you can also stack that 3 high.
Yeah.
So you've already got quite a lot of input, because the space belts could have all 3 layers on them as well.
Okay.
So if you input, basically it retains where the input and output is. So if you input on the first layer, it outputs on the first layer. But if you input on the second layer, it outputs on the second layer on the space belt.
Okay. Yeah.
So you can actually, and you can merge to the space belts as you're. I did notice when I launched this game, but I don't think it's synced my saves, unfortunately, because I was thinking I could just load up one of my actual saves. It is cloud enabled, so I don't know why it didn't. I mean, maybe we can make a brief video cut and see if we can get that.
Early access.
Otherwise,
is there like a speed up button? Because we're other than you making the pyramid, we're a long way from these targets.
Yeah,
speed or something.
There isn't actually any speed. Like, there's no speed controls. You can just upgrade the belt speed. That's about it. But then, of course, if you upgrade the belt speed but don't upgrade the building speed,
yeah, you're still going to get jammed.
Everything's going to get out of line. But I've got enough to upgrade all of these, I guess. To take them all to level 2, so they'll all stay in proportion but faster.
The belts. Yeah, I guess it's trying to, like, you would just spend this time doubling up.
Well,
or making it more efficient.
Well, in reality, you'd be spending this time doing these tasks because I've already played this game. I've done real quick at it, so I don't need to take time to think about it. I just do it.
But we haven't got the pyramids.
Well, yeah.
Make the pyramids.
We can make a real slow belt of pyramids, I suppose, just using one wide output.
That we've got left.
Yeah, for squares. I mean, there's another one way up there, but that'd be slightly weird. We can do 2 and copy it when we get blueprints. You want to do like this, put the one in the bottom, put this on the top, and then combine those together. Oops. There you go. Pile of squares. And then the hope that straight shot.
Yeah. Wait, I don't know. It's all 3 layers, isn't it? Yeah.
I mean, it's 4 in the. Oh wait, no, hang on. It's 3 first, but 4 seconds. That might actually be too much. Is that too much? Yes, that is too much. I need to erase
Undo
this.
one of them.
Erase that part.
Did you do all 4? Oh, did you do 4 layers?
Straight to 4.
Because I put 2 on 2. Oh, actually, so this is the bit that I need to erase, not that one. You need to skip one of them for the first step.
Okay, yeah, I see what you meant. Yeah.
Make some junk. Although you can actually just, if you select just like a chunk of factory, you just hit I and clear everything off the belts.
Oh, right.
And that's actually one of the other, like, all these UI features. So you've got I selecting parts of it and then pressing I to clear the belts. But if you click on a thing, you just press O to select everything that's linked to that.
Oh, that's kind of useful.
So, like, when you're looking at this end, you're like, oh, okay, I'm done with that shape. I can just click that, hit O, select all of that, and then just hit delete, and it just goes away.
Trash the whole thing. Huh. Neat.
Now we've unlocked blueprints.
Prioritize milestones.
Yes, I know about.
And we've got new. Oh no, have we got new things?
Yes, new tasks, but new blueprints mainly. So yes, obviously now you have the copy button. So in this mode, I've got it set to like normal difficulty, where the blueprint stuff is free.
Oh.
But in the hard mode, you actually have to make a specific shape to earn blueprint points to copy and paste.
Interesting.
But that's not like...
What, so there's one of the tasks, for instance, like... And what, it's like a resource, you mean? Like a copy costs money?
The more shit you're copying at once, the more blueprint points it uses.
Huh.
And then the blueprint shape...
Oh, you mean the size of the copy, not how many times you actually copy.
And then the shape you're making to earn the blueprint points, there's like upgraded versions of it. So as you move further up the tech tree, you can make more you can make more blueprint points at once, basically. That was how it used to work in the original game, but they've made in normal now they've made it so it's all just free. So it's I think. Yes, like this shape is the traditional blueprint shape, the 3/4 circles, 1/4 square.
Google Maps logo.
And then in the original game, it used to be that. Then on this step, the bottom was painted blue and the top was painted white. But because paint is quite a lot further up the tech tree in this, well, at least a couple more steps. So they've just made it. I assume
Keep stacking.
I assume it's that same shape, even if you turn on blue. Actually, I wonder if I can. I think I can just do that.
What, swap right now?
Yeah. Not in that settings. It's in what settings is that? I know it's somewhere in here. Or do I actually have to save and quit?
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be here, does it?
Or is it in miles? Well, you can. You can somewhere change difficulty on the fly. I don't remember where.
Pipette? What's the pipette for?
That's selecting whatever you've got your mouse over.
Pipette.
Pipette.
Pipette, schmipette.
One of those UI words that is just like no one understands what that actually comes from most of the time. Like, when was the last time you used a pipette? Like in high school.
Oh, you used to use them.
Yeah. I guess they're just called colour pickers normally, aren't they? I guess, but the icon is the pipette, right?
Yeah. A save file on floppy disk.
Yeah. Well, why have you got the save icon as your coasters roll?
Yeah. Anyway, I guess we're
Someone actually asked you that. Not yet. One day.
No, I think a child might have.
Yeah.
A child. I guess we're done for now, unless we want to see if I can get my saves real briefly, but...
Well, yeah, otherwise we're sat for a while, aren't we? Yeah. Okay. Let's have a little pause. Probably an edit right here. Unless you want to talk about more words.
Words.
Saves Shmaves. Shmaves? Shmaves.
That's actually a Windows import.
Shmave games.
I guess you have to quit out and see if it doesn't sync. And hope that it doesn't sync over
my stuff, yeah. This class says is up to date.
Checking. Uploading.
Well, that's worrying.
Up to date. Yeah, that is mildly worrying. Well, unless it's... Oh, no, it's on my account, isn't it? Because we're playing on my account.
Your account, right.
Yeah.
So it's not going to get my saves unless we log into my Steam.
No.
Oh, well. Which will I restart the game so we can at least menu while having the menu running while we're doing an outro to this video?
Yeah. I guess I don't need to do the tutorial now. No, I probably would if I ever played this.
Yeah.
Learn all the keyboard shortcuts.
Also, should we actually see if I can change the difficulty in that save file? Because I'm pretty sure that... Unless that doesn't unlock until after you've done with the tutorial, I guess.
Maybe, yeah.
Oh, wait, that's the wrong button.
Continue.
That was just the instant continue button.
Follow that train in the hole. Vortex doesn't care that the whole train goes in.
No.
It just cares that the shapes are in the train somewhere.
And because the trains are full, like... The trains just go, so a lot of the time you're just launching empty trains into there. Because it's like, oh, there wasn't anything to pick up when that train arrived, but it's still just going to go in the hole.
What a waste. Nobody cares about the resources that made the trains, then.
You can change it here.
Oh, edit save game, huh?
Yes.
And the seed.
Hey, we can even be custom if you want.
Huh. Scenario can't be changed.
So, okay then. We can't get my save files, it turns out, so we'll just have to look at this title screen for a minute. That kind of shows what's going on.
Is this kind of what it looks like when you, apart from without all the loop-de-loops?
Yes. I haven't done any loop-de-loops yet.
Oh, are those the space lanes where you can see that are just like the arrows and then stuff being flung off?
Yeah, this is a space belt, and this is technically a space pipe, but that's early access graphics for the space pipes. They aren't pipe-like yet.
Okay, right. Not complete.
And you can also sometimes see in the background that the train tracks are two-sided, like the top and the bottom.
Oh,
because it's slightly weird that, like, if you don't chuck the train into the hole, like if you don't just like when you throw the train directly into the hole, it just spawns a new train at its like depot. Whereas you just saw it there in the background. Whereas if you have the train go to a station and then basically to turn around and go back, it goes on the underside of the rail.
Yeah, I see.
So it just follows the same path backwards, but on the bottom.
Also, that like rail doesn't look like it goes straight at the vortex. It just sort of goes roughly near it and then goes whoop off to the side.
No, that is in line.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, it just looks weird.
It's because the train gets small. It looks like it's perspective, like it's moving sideways, but it's just because it shrinks. I do find it kind of disappointing because, like, when you got this, where you've got the mad swirl of a shit ton of stuff being put in, eventually you just replace so much of that with trains, you don't get all the cool swirly shapes.
Yeah.
I think they should. That's something that I think they should update, where you make it so that when the train goes in, it doesn't go in; it just like explodes into the shapes.
Oh, that would look
cool. And you see all the shapes go in.
Yeah,
that would be cool. Like tidal forces of the black hole kind of rip it apart.
Yeah,
or just like there's a gate at the end of the train lane that just sort of disintegrates the train, and just the shapes just go.
Or just have like. Because it's space, so gravity wouldn't even make any sense anyway. Just have it so that, like, the train goes off the jump, but then flies up, and all the shapes drop out. The train just flies into space.
Bye. Oh well, how am I putting some shapes on screen?
Bring in 4 quarters. Actually, relatively easy.
4 quarters.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a DaVinci Resolve wipe for that. Yep. Or if not, I'll have to. It's quite simple to make. A game that had like practically no sound effects for belt action, like that'll do. Yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you for this introduction to shapes. These other shapes that are on the screen right now, those are called letters, and they form some words that may be of use to you. We're Happy Salad, and you can go to happysalad.net. That's what some of those shapes spell. Spelling's a thing, kids. You can get that. You can get our podcast Schmodcast at that address and see what else we're up to, including more of these videos on this YouTube channel. You can also go check out our Facebook and our Twitters, which may, actually thinking about it, may still be updating with content. The sort of back-end service I was using kind of closed.
Yep, naturally.
Or is in the process of closing. Some work to be done. But anyway, you should be get notified when we do stuff there. Yeah. That's a video. That's a video. Thank you, Zach. Dan, awkward send-off.
Shmiya.
Shmai.